We're going to find the front, our nice smooth, line up our wrinkled side with that back stitching right here, because this is going to be the back of our doll. So this right here is our front. So then we're just going to stuff this in here. Sometimes this can be kind of tricky, especially if you have a lot of wool in there already. Sometimes I might use like a pencil or a dowel if I'm having a really hard time. But I think this is going to work okay. Okay. Now, I'm feeling this right now, and this is just a little bit too loose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my marker here, and I am going to stuff a little bit more wool in there. I'm just going to get it started. And I'm just going to do this with my head already in there. If you start with too much wool in there, it's near impossible to get that head in there. But you can always add more before you cinch the neck. So we're just going to do that until I have a nice, that feels so much better. Okay, good. Now this is where you have to be really careful, and it really helps to have some strong thread for this part because it can tend to break, but you're going to want to cinch that neck and make sure that all your ropes and everything are inside first. You're going to cinch that neck up nice and tight, very slowly and gently, because you do not want to break that thread. If you do, it's not the end of the world. Okay, once you get that cinched up, you're going to knot it off. Just like that. Cut off our excess here. Little rope sticking out there. Okay, now we are almost done. We're going to try to make this thing look somewhat human now. We've got our head, we've got our body. Now what we're going to do is we're going to attach some hair. So we take our wool roving, and we're going to use some needle felting needles. Thank you, Isaiah, my trusty assistant. And we're going to, now I have a terrible tendency to put hair on and then realize that I've not lined up my back with the back of the head. So one thing you really want to do is make sure that you're keeping in mind that this is the back line of your doll. So with that back line in mind, I'm going to lay her very bright orange hair over the top, just like this. Nice. There's the front. We're going to take our needle felting and we're going to just poke that in, just like that. This wool batting will just start to stick. This is a needle felting needle, and what it has is these little tiny notches on here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but what they do is they push and pull the wool. So the wool that is inside of this head is being pulled back out, and it's kind of tangling it together with this wool roving on the outside. So now you can see it's stuck down. Now you can pull this off if you want to. So if you ever have a puppet that you want to change the hair color, this stuff will pull right off. So if you are making this for a child as a toy to play with, you are probably going to want to use a different kind of, more of a yarn that you would sew onto here so that it's something that a child could play with and not pull right apart. Okay, so once you get that on, that's our starters here. You can do the back of the head. Just kind of lay it on there. That's what I love about it, is you can kind of just put it on there any old way and do this. Now, if you've ever needle felted before, you will know how horribly painful it is to stab yourself. So you want to be very careful. It's a pretty good idea to never ever look away when you're needle felting, which can be a hard thing when you have kids, because it never fails. I start needle felting, somebody says, "Look, Mom." I look, and then there we go, right through the finger. So keep your eyes on your hands when you are needle felting. So there you go. Once you have the shape of the hair, you can do things like little braids if you want. You can make little pigtails like that. I think with this little girl, I am going to make just some little twisty pigtails, and I'm going to make some little buns here at the bottom like this. So you can just twist it however you want. And very slowly, oops, I just broke my needle. And grab another one here. We're going to just poke that in like that.
It's beautiful, Mom.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So once you get that hair kind of like you like it, I'm going to even that out a little bit on the side there. Now I'm going to lay just a little bit more across the top here to kind of give the illusion of a little bit of some bangs kind of coming down a little bit. Just kind of soften up that hairline.
Don't bake that kind.
Now,
That's,
you
don't
can
make that
shape
one 'cause
with the needle
that's
felting, so I'm going to just kind of run along like this, back and forth in this spot to imply a little part in her hair. There we go. Tuck that back there. There we go, kind of work out some of the wrinkles. They're looking good. Now what we're going to do is, it really helps to kind of just finish it up
finish up.
if you make a little shawl to go around. So I'm just going to take a little piece of blue scrap that I have here, make sure that it's going to be long enough. Isaiah, can you go ahead and thread me some blue? Thank you. So we're just going to make sure that that's going to be long enough, which it is now. You could just take this little piece right here and sew it on just like that, and you would have a cute little cloak, which I actually kind of like the way that looks, so I think I'll do that. I'm just going to straighten out my bottom here. Now, one of the reasons that a lot of times the Waldorf style puppets, marionettes, table puppets do not have faces is to help the child be able to kind of fill in the blanks. If they have a smile on there and you're doing a puppet show where they're crying, then it kind of takes away from it. If they have no face, then the child can use their imagination to create whatever facial expression you are trying to portray. Now, sometimes as adults we look at this and it can be a little creepy. I have a friend who absolutely cannot stand looking at these because they don't have faces, but I have a 3-year-old daughter who she sees a face and they're perfectly fine. Whatever I'm trying to portray to her when I show it, that's the tendency of what she sees. So, which is a really good thing. And as adults, we should try to get a little bit of that back in ourselves. Thank you, Isaiah. Okay, so we're going to just take our little scrap piece here and we're going to fasten it around, easy as can be. We're just going to attach this. Now I'm not going to sew it to the doll because I want to be able to take it off so that I can change her. I might want to put an apron on her and turn her into a baker or a cook. I might want to put just a little shawl on her. So I'm just going to sew the cape on without actually attaching it. And there you go. Another one to add to the collection.